Hello everybody, welcome back to some Submerged Hidden Depths. Should be the final part. Um, so we're heading to our first location. Well, I guess second. Oh, come on. Second last technically, but you know. If it'll let us out. Maybe I shouldn't have fast traveled to this location. I was like, this will be faster because it's closer than the main base. And then it's like, oh, yeah, but you can't escape. Ah, here we go. So I did forget to check if the final critter that we needed was in one of these two locations or not. I'm just gonna trust it is. Uh, Hopefully it's in this one, but even if it isn't, they tend to show up fairly early on. So if it isn't in this one, then we should know rather early on in the next one if it's there, and if it isn't, then I'll look. Oh, see, now this is cool. I could do with more locations like this where you're like going through the buildings. Like, this is cool. Reminds me of like a actual like disaster movie, you know. Oh, oh. Watched speaking of disaster movies, I watched San Andreas the other day. I've seen it before, watched it again. Pretty good movie. I mean, it's a disaster movie, so everything is like ridiculous, over the top, and predictable, but you know, not necessarily a bad thing. I don't mind if my movies are predictable, because I tend to find that the ones that aren't predictable at this point are, well, it's generally not a good thing that they aren't predictable. Because I always find it funny how people will be like, uh, man, it's so predictable. But then when something unpredictable happens, they're like, but why didn't you just do it this way? And it's like, because that was the predictable way. And it's just one of those, like, can never satisfy, like, the audience doesn't actually know what they want type deal. And for the most part, I just go into a movie, I'm like, yep, this is the movie I'm watching now. I wonder is dude gonna be standing outside this one as well? Maybe. No, I think that might just be the storm outside. Also, I completely missed what style that was. Alright, let's try not to miss any style pieces this time as well. That would be nice. I don't see the big guy, but once we get up more into the open, maybe we'll spot him. Because honestly, it would be kind of weird if he wasn't there now. Now, to be fair, it's still weird that whenever we're in a location, we can see him. But as soon as we get on our boat, he's disappeared. But assuming he's a figment of, I don't know what her name is. Do they have names? Anyway, our girl's imagination, it would make more sense. I think it would make more sense if he was just like a figment of our imagination. And it's just her seeing him and like not saying anything to her brother. But at the same time, I feel like some kind of indication. Because like the first time he appeared, right? It was directly in front of the boat. There is zero chance that they didn't both see him. And there was just zero reaction whatsoever. Is this where we... Oh, this is where we just were. I didn't recognize it because I ran all behind it and not in front of the torch. Alright. Also, speaking of final parts, very loose connection there, but anyway. Was reading a thing on Reddit, and it was, oh yeah, that definitely sounds like a dude. Hey, and then there's our last critter. Squirrels! Man, they're big. There's some big-ass squirrels, man. See, and once again, also not a rare achievement. Most people who bought this game must have finished it. I feel like I hurt the big guy. Anyway. It was, what was the question? A TV show that nailed its final episode. That just had, like, the perfect final episode. And there were some obvious ones in there that I've seen, because I've seen this question more or less anyway before. And there was, like, The Good Place, which I've never watched. MASH, which is probably the most common one. And a few other ones that I don't really even remember, actually. But, it got me thinking. I said I liked the way the Big Bang Theory ended. Because I was like, even though the last, like, few seasons... I'm not going to say how many seasons, but, you know, the last few seasons, I imagine everybody has their own, like, this is where it turned moment. Oh, I have a feeling the other way was the secret way at this point. This seems like a bit much. Yeah. Oh, you know what, though? We gotta go back there anyway, obviously, because we gotta take the seed back that way. Since there's that gate that we needed to get through. But anyway, because I was like, even if they, like, admittedly, you know, oh yeah, there he is. He is out there. Like, the final few seasons struggle a bit, kind of drag on a little bit. The actual final episode I felt was pretty good. Oh, the seed is right here already. Okay. So that was my contribution to it, but it got me thinking, because, like, afterwards I was thinking, I was like, well, I mean, Psych had a pretty perfect ending. I mean, like, that was pretty good, you know, Monk. And then it just got me thinking that it's like, you know, pretty much almost, like, all the shows that I could think of. Can I save Taku from the fate of these people? Can I save myself? Anyway. All the ones that I could think of were ones that, like, knew they were ending. Now, here's the thing, right? I would have said Bones. Except then they ruined it. Because I feel like Bones had the perfect ending, and then they ruined it by making another season. Which I refuse to watch, and I'm rather pissy about. Oh. We're already back at... Oh, that's not at all how I thought this was going to happen. Alright. But yeah, like, pretty much any show that I could think of where it's like they knew that the show was ending had a pretty decent ending. Like, because, like, if you know your show's about to end, like, you're going to put so much effort into that final episode, right? Because it's the last thing fans of your show are going to remember. It's the last thing anybody who watches this, assuming they watch all of it, is going to know. It's going to be like the final impression, you know? So, I mean, which just makes the fact that some shows have real shit final finales all the worse, right? But yeah, like, and even now, like, looking at my stuff, like, looking at my things here, I mean, there's some that I would argue, you know, weren't perfect, you know, like Two Broke Girls, as much as I like that show. The ending, but I'm not really sure how you would end that. Frasier, the original series, the ending, you know, I would say not, like, you know, the best ending. But it wasn't a horrible ending is the thing, right? Same with, like, Two Broke Girls. Like, the endings weren't bad. They were just, like, I don't know. Two Broke Girls, the ending was kind of like, they just, it felt slightly rushed. Like, they just needed to wrap it up, you know? There we go. And like the ending of Frasier was just, like I said, just kind of like, you know, like not necessarily bad, but it's like, really, that's alright. Climber, that's the style. And yes, it did take 4 of them for me to finally read what it said. 4 of those and the flower, haven't found a diary yet. What worries me is that it says that there's one that way. And the reason that worries me is because that obviously has to be on a lower level than we are right now. But yeah, because I mean, like, all the shows that I know of that I dislike the ending for, they just kind of end. Although, come to think of it, come to look at it, most of these diary pages seem to be, like, out further, so we must end up going back down. Or something, like, I don't know. We'll just continue on for now. Because yeah, most of the series where it's like, it had a real shit ending, it's because it ended on a cliffhanger or something, you know? And I mean, there's some shows that do that so much. Like, literally every season they'll end on a cliffhanger, and it's like, stop. Like, Criminal Minds was really bad for that. They would end on cliffhangers constantly. Like, every season was a cliffhanger ending, and it's like, just fucking... It's like, just end it. You know, like, end the season properly. Stop with this. If people like it, they're gonna watch the next season. You ending it on a cliffhanger isn't going to make them... At most, it'll make them watch one episode next season. Just to see what happened, and then they won't care anymore, you know? See, like, it shows that it's that way. Oh, I guess, okay, so it's probably up there. The other 3 show that direction, but I don't know how far away they are. I mean, do we continue up or do we go left? I'm not sure. Both ways seem equally as obvious. Oh, there we go. I chose correctly. Oh, that's good. That is page 49 as well. Oh, it doesn't look like dude's gonna do too well here. But yeah, like, and the thing about, like, right, like, ending your show on a cliffhanger, it's like, I get it, you want to draw people in for the next season and that. But then if you don't get another season, it really makes you look like an asshole, you know? Like, there's a show, I might rewatch it right away here, called Alcatraz. It only got 1 season. It had, I don't know what his real name is, Grant from the Dinosaur Man from Jurassic Park. He is in it. And it's a show, it was a good show, I like it, about, Alcatraz got shut down because at one point, like, some amount of people, I don't remember how many, all vanished. And, like, the whole point is that I think the main character is, like, the descendant of one of them or something, if I'm not mistaken. So she ends up helping it out. But it's like, they didn't escape. Exactly. What happened is they all got sent forward through time or something. But anyway, it's a ridiculous premise, but the show itself is good. I enjoy it. But, like, they end it with, I do believe they end it, spoiler alert, for the show that's super old and you've probably never heard of. They end it, I want to say, with her, like, shot and bleeding and, like, them trying to save her. And by them, I just mean doctors. I don't like, specifically remember who was trying to save her or anything, but yeah. I'm pretty sure it's just doctors. But yeah, she's like dying on the table, and then the show ends, and it's like, oh well, clearly they're setting up for a season 2, and then they just never got a season 2. Oh, wasn't dude like right next to us? Like he's way the fucking gone over there now, which looks like maybe that's, if we're looking that way. I mean, yeah, that would probably be our last location then, with the orange light there. So that's interesting. Of course, I don't know if he's still down below because I don't know which side of the tower he was on in comparison to us. But yeah, and then there was another one, Human Target. I think I also own that one. Once again, very good show. Really enjoyed it. Uh, I think that one may have got 2 seasons. But once again, they ended. Yeah, I think it did get 2 seasons because they ended both seasons on a cliffhanger. But then, they never got a third season. So once again, it just kind of made him look like an asshole. Um, that one I want to say is like one of the characters gets kidnapped at the end of the second season or something. And then it's like, all right, time to go. And then, we never get we never get it resolved because, they just kind of never got never got another season. So it's like, you assholes. Maybe that's one of the reasons why I like watching anime, because I feel like a lot of anime go into it just suspecting that they're not getting another season. Like a lot of TV shows and that go into it thinking, yeah, we're gonna have so many seasons. Whereas like with anime, it's like, man, we are so fucking lucky that we got this season. We better make the best of it because it ain't happening again. Because apparently a lot of anime that have one season, they basically made the season to try and drive sales of like the manga and the light novels and that. They're like, if we give people a season, they'll want to know what else happened, and then they'll buy the books. I don't know how well that works. I mean, because at the same time, like, they can say that, but then they also let the people making the anime change a lot of the stuff. Like, I can't tell you how many, when Crunchyroll actually had comments underneath their videos, or underneath the videos, which they don't anymore for some reason. Maybe too many people bitching at each other. Like, I can't tell you how many were like, man, this is nothing like the book. Like I think I've talked about this once before. One of my favorite animes, which actually did get 2 seasons, is like the Kuma 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 Bear one. And it's like, yeah, I absolutely love that show. It got 2 seasons, great. In the comments of, I want to say it was in season 1, I'm not sure. The one guy said something about what happened in the books, and it's like, wow, never reading those. Because it's just like the book, like the cartoon, like the anime is just like so light, cheery and everything, right? And then the books is like, yeah, I mean, death, murder, forced sex trafficking, it's like, really now? It's like, this is a show that I'm willing to watch when, like, there's children around. This is an anime that I'm willing to watch with children around. Like, that's the difference. It's like, I would not want to leave that book on the table with children around. But I mean, I imagine some are closer than others, and some differences obviously have to be made. But then there's ones like Death March to the Parallel World Rhapsody, which is another one of my favorite shows. Only got 1 season. And I actually have the manga. I should probably look. There's probably more of them at this point. Because I usually end up getting like 2 or 3 at a time because it's like a year or more between me actually looking for them. looking to see if there's new ones. Um, and oh fuck. And yeah, like it's definitely different, but it's not. There's certain things that they took out where it's like, yeah, that's fair. But then there's other things where they took out where it's like, you know, it's not like a huge amount that you left this out, but at the same time, it's like it's like kind of like an important part. Like if you've never seen the show, it's pretty good. Uh, very minor spoilers. Uh, although it's an anime about an isekai protagonist, so maybe not so much spoilers. He ends up with some slave girls, right? And there's a couple of, and then he ends up with them. They end up trapped in a dungeon right away. Like they all get teleported to a dungeon because he was with them. They get teleported together. Everybody else is spread out throughout the dungeon. Um, and yeah, there's some scenes that has to do with you know, how slaves are treated in this world. Not only that, but specifically these girls, how they've been treated. I mean, they didn't even have names because their previous master just called them by whatever animal that they were part of. Like, literally just called them dog, cat, and lizard. Because he was a real asshole. But, okay, what is the point of me climbing? Oh, there's a pool there. I was like, there's got to be more to this. But yeah, there's some scenes as they travel through the dungeon, right? And more specifically, after they get out of the dungeon, and they actually officially, like, he officially takes ownership of them, that are really like impactful to care for like the character development, you know. And they just cut him right out, you know. Okay, let's see. Distraught at what he had done, the big man's final attempt to appease the mass was for nothing. So what, he jumped off a building? Fucking go put the things back, you dumbass. How does that help? But anyway. Yeah, it's like some pretty good character development things, right? And they just cut it out. But I mean, like, the first manga of it, because I have the manga, not the light novels. I think there are light novels of them, yeah. I think there's like a web novel as well, which is also like even further ahead than the light novels. But anyway, the first manga, the first book of the manga, takes place over like the first like 2.5 to 3 episodes, roughly. I would say. I think 3 episodes. And then the second book in the manga is a single episode because they just cut so much of it out. So much so that apparently while writing it, they realized that it wasn't believable for the girls to have leveled up as much as they did. So they actually decreased their levels. I think when they leave the dungeon in the manga, the girls are all at like level, I want to say like 10 plus, maybe even like 14 or something, 14 and 15, I don't remember. Anyway, a regular soldier in that world is level 7. So they're like incredibly strong, all things considered, right? I don't know where this last one is now. I'm missing one style piece again. And we have the seed ready to be planted. And now I don't know whether or not the last style piece will be up here or down below. Or what. But anyway, yeah, so they but then in the show they come out and they're like 7. They're level 7, and it's like, but that's that. Yeah, I think they must have been like 14 or 15 because yeah, they're like half the level they were. But they also cut out like the majority of the combat. Like in the manga, most of the fighting in the dungeon is against skeletons. There are 0 skeletons in the TV show. You know. But yeah, they just cut out a lot of stuff that isn't plot related. But you got like a style piece over here. But yeah, they just cut out a bunch of stuff that wasn't necessarily plot related, but was character progression. Also, I heard Demon Lord Retry is apparently getting a second season, which honestly, I'm not sure I'm excited about it. As much as I love that show, it's been so long since the first season came out that I doubt they got the same voice actors for everyone. Um, Especially when it comes to like the English voice actors. Oh. Because I feel like a lot of them might get like, I can't remember what show it was. There was some show anyway, where you know they got the same Japanese voice actors back, but then when they did the dub version, they used different English voice actors, and it's like, oh come on, it's like that's so shit. Uh, Come on, get over there. So yeah, and apparently they're changing the art style, but that's not really too much of a surprise because once again, that show came out a while ago. So it makes sense that the art style would be different because it's, you know, even rewatching it nowadays, you know, you can tell that it's older, you know, like it's definitely an older art style. They aren't as detailed and everything. Their lines aren't as sharp and whatnot. I really don't know where to go for this style piece. There's so many, like we climb so high. I'm gonna have to hang on. Alright, so I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna check this one here that I found that I'm not 100% on. Okay, so it says once you have the seed, and then turn back because there's climbable crates. Okay, so yeah, that would be these ones for when we went up. Okay, go on. Because I know we got the one at the very top of the tower, but this picture is showing one in like a little hut as well. And I don't particularly remember getting it, but it should be like right here. If I didn't. Oh, get up. Oh. No, that doesn't look right. Okay. Because this looks like we're standing on a... Maybe it is up here? No, it's definitely not up here. Definitely not. Huh. Okay, over here is correct. No, because that's the book. Oh, that's what it's showing me. That picture's for the book. Oh, I see. Oh. Okay, so if I hadn't missed, that would be why I didn't remember picking up a style piece inside one of the houses. It wasn't a style piece I was looking for. So what I think I'll do, just so that we start back at the bottom of the tower, since it's such a huge climb, is I think we'll just end it. And since we still have one more to go anyway, one more location. If this was our last location, I would fucking climb all the way down to the bottom. Because I think, achievement-wise, right, collect all the diaries, collect all the flowers, collect all the styles. And then the secret achievement, I'm assuming, is finish the game. And I would like to end on that achievement. Also, it better fucking be to finish the game and not some other, like, nonsense achievement. Because, yeah, I would like to end on, you know, finishing the game. But we can just fast travel back to here. We'll be at the base of the tower. I really like this part, though. Where it changes everything and, like, all the flowers and the petals and everything. Like, it's really good. I like that. Alright, let's see what we get for... I mean, we've only got one build or one seed left to replace, so... Really? Gonna be a little bitch about it? Maybe if they learned to speak, they could actually talk things through. The children were forced back to the loneliness of the waves. The sister wept for her failure and for the fickleness of humankind. Fickleness, yeah. Humans are pricks. Guess he's ready to go. I may have made us outcast, but now I will make this place our new home, if it's the last thing I do. Okay, but, I mean, how useful is that going to be if there's nobody else, you know? I mean, I know we've talked about in one of the previous episodes, you know, creation myths that involve just a single brother and sister left on Earth, and yet somehow the entire planet becomes populated again. But it's like, otherwise you just kind of grow old and die. I mean, it's kind of, I don't know about the sequels, because I never actually watched the movie or read the books either, but Flowers in the Attic is a thing, you know, this horrible, horrible mother locks her kids in the attic because she doesn't, I don't know. Like I said, I never actually watched the movie. I caught parts of it while somebody else was watching it, and they had no interest in it or the books, so. But I do believe that the brother, there's a brother and I want to say two sisters. There's a younger sister and an older sister. I don't know the age difference between any of them. But yeah, at one point, you know, the brother bangs the older sister. Oh, fuck, see. And this is also why, because when I was looking at the things, I was like, I don't think I got the very first one. And it's like, yeah, you lock two people that are about to hit puberty and going to be full of hormones in an enclosed location. Like, yeah, no shit that's going to happen. Alright, let's see what Climber looks like. Oh, okay. I think the texture hadn't quite popped in. I mean, like, okay, I don't much care for the robes. I mean, I get it, but alright, okay, so we'll stick with formal, regular hair. I think it would actually be faster to, because it's like right near. I'm kind of half tempted, but not going to. That when we pick up the flower in the next location, to just quickly fast travel back here and put it away, just so that it's there. But at the same time, I have a very strong suspicion that once we get all of them, we'll have to do something back at the house anyway. So, also this location is technically like the first one they direct you to. So I wonder if this location is going to be like particularly easy. But anyway, yeah, flowers in the attic. Cause yeah, their mother like barely has anything to do with them. I think it's their grandmother that keeps coming up, and she's a mean old bitch too. Um, like fucking gives them food and something. Ooh, a yacht. Well, well then. But yeah, and then like I said, the brother and thankfully it's the older sister, end up having sex, and it's like, well, yeah, and it's like you're not teaching them anything while they're up there. They're, like I said, hormonal, going through puberty, everything's changing. You're basically ignoring them and just telling them that they're worthless. I mean, yeah, that's going to happen. I do believe they end up, spoiler alert for something that I didn't actually watch myself, I do believe they end up killing the grandmother. Um, and then they run away. I don't remember what happens to their mother. But yeah, I want to say they end up killing the grandmother because once she finds out that they slept together, she like goes all fucking like Old Testament on them, starts beating one of them, and then like the other one like pushes her over and she bonks her head or something. I don't know. And then yeah, there's, I want to say 2 sequels from that, so 3 books total. I mean, trilogy, go figure. Once again though, never. I don't know if they made movies in all of them. I never watched the first one. Like I said, I caught parts of it. But it's just like, yeah, I mean, so like when I see like these creation myths where it's like a brother and sister, and it's like they're the last people on Earth. It's like, yeah, I mean, we will not end up like these remnants no matter what. Like, yeah, I mean, without anybody to teach them anything, to show them how to, they're just going to give in to their base animalistic desires because they won't know any better. Man, this may very well be a very small location, but like I said, it is supposed to be like the first one you go to realistically. Like I said, as soon as like you start the game, they like direct you to this one. They're like, look, there's one right there, and I just like, yeah, I'm not doing that one though. I mean, we've already got 3 of the diary entries, like 4 or 5 of the yacht. Okay, so we can keep going over or we can go down. It looks like over is the correct path, so down we go. Oh, okay, cool. Okay, so there's the flowers, and as suspected, the achievement popped before I put them away, but when it did that for the relics, I kind of assumed that it would do that for the flower as well. Yeah, okay. What does this do? Oh, okay. It's just the shortcut back then. Okay, up to 6 of the style pieces already. Yeah, I get it, creaky bitch. Either say something intelligent or just shut the fuck up. Stop moving. Every time you move, I have to listen to your joints. Alright. the end of the story. In time, the mass subsided, but the mass remembers, and the anguish of the big man echoes even now in the hidden depths below. So is this the big... Oh, whoops. So is that the big man? Did the mass consume him? And now he's turned in... Now, like, it's that thing? Like, he's turned into that thing? And we're undoing all of his work. And he has mixed feelings about it, I guess. Because I get, you know, he did theoretically kill himself to try and apologize for what he did. As much of a dumbass thing to do as that is. Yes, this was also a very small location. Oh, there it is. I was gonna say, my controller's vibrating like there's something nearby. Alright, and there's all the yacht pieces. So, I mean, let's just assume that the yacht looks good, shall we? Okay, but that leaves you have to just finish the game. Yeah, this was a super small location. Like, damn. Oh, did he go back in the water? Because we disabled all the stuff now? That's kind of cool. Oh, wait. Oh, no, he is still there. I thought there was another one of them. I was gonna say, is there one of the, like, did those guys disappear as well? Like, before you even get the seed in it? Yeah, this location was super short, but that makes sense. It is the closest one to the base. They very clearly direct you to it. But because it's kind of weird. You know, I don't like that actually. Like the fact that they direct you to it, and it's very clearly like the first one a lot of people are going to do, but it has the final diary pages in it. Like, that's really shitty. Alright. Yeah, there really wasn't a whole lot to that one. But that's all the seeds fixed. Now I'm assuming that that other bridge back home will drop down for us. It's kind of weird that the more we fixed, the more like her arm seemed to like be getting fucky. Oh. Okay, well, brother does see it. Oh shit. Where are you taking her, buddy? But the brother dried his sister's tears and took her hand once more. He believed in her, and together they would have their new home. I mean, to be fair, this place is pretty nice now. Oh, that does look good. I like that. Oh, and now he's walking around. Okay, well... I can't put the other flower in. And I also have absolutely no idea where I'm taking her. Because, I mean, there's still black masses around. Oh yeah, there it goes. Are we gonna feed our sister to this guy? That would be a rather dark ending to this. Like, she pushed me down once. I'm gonna fucking kill this bitch. See, like I said, conveniently head height. I don't know where we're going now, though. Do I just like, oh yeah. Are they both going in? Okay, so that's the power from all the seeds that we put in. Oh. Turned him into a big tree. Oh, and apparently we didn't get eaten. So, was that the dude, or like the embodiment of the evil prick who like took all the seeds out and plugged them in? All right, and then that's the game. Um, yeah, I mean, I liked it. I feel like they didn't really explain the giant thing at all. I mean, the only reason I even think it's like the embodiment of like the bad guy that was in the story is just because I don't know what else it would be. Because I mean, like, by all means, if it was just like the embodiment of the Black Mass, then, and you know, the reason why it went all crazy was because they had taken the seeds, and us putting the seeds back theoretically would have made it happier and less likely to attack us. Now, it didn't really attack us anyway. I mean, because I mean, it it could have squished us at any point. And like I said, when it first appeared, neither character seemed to actually have a reaction to it. And then whenever we were in the boat, it wasn't around. But every time we left the boat, it was just suddenly in front of us, which made it all the weirder. Um, but I mean, outside of the giant monster thing there, yeah, it was a solid game. I liked it. I mean, the first one didn't have talking either, but I do believe that your brother was like unconscious for all of it, or at the very least, the majority of it. The fact that there's no voice actors, well, I mean, obviously they're voice actors. They do say stuff, but they don't speak. Like, they have all these different languages here. They don't, like, what the fuck version did I get? Because I caught a couple of English words, but not enough to say, but I also caught a lot of words that definitely weren't.
Gone to Black Plant.
The giant is at peace, the city is restored, and we have a new home. I still want to see what else is hidden. Oh, is hidden around here. Let's go. All right, well, listen, bro. There ain't anything else hidden around here. But yeah, I mean, it's a good game. I like it. I like running around exploring and whatnot. There wasn't really anything that was like dickishly hidden, you know? Like some games like this will have stuff that it's like a really weird fucking thing that you got to do to get it. I feel like pretty much everything here you could very easily. The fact that you don't have a jump, that you can't climb everything, like there's very specific places you can go and things you can do. There you go. There's our nice little garden. Um, really made it a lot easier to find everything, you know, which is good. Um, and, you know, driving around in the boat, you know, whatever is driving around in the boat. It's how you get to places. I mean, it's the same as if I had to run to each location because everything was just ground instead of water. I mean, whoopity doo. Um, it's good. Nothing was super far apart, so even before you get the any boat upgrades to get the boost in that, I mean, it doesn't take you a super long amount of time. I gotta say the only, like I said, the big giant thing doesn't really. They didn't do a good job with that, explaining that or anything. But other than that, my only real complaint about the game, honestly, is the way they did the diary entries and how they had them at static locations instead of just each entry that you found told the next part of the story. And like I said, especially with the fact that they very clearly direct you to to the location that has the final pages of the diary in it. That's like I said, really shitty of them to do. Like they're telling like they basically are trick you into learning the end of the story. So like if you went to that one first, you found it, and then like you start seeing it's like, okay, well he kills himself and everything goes wrong. Now obviously everything went wrong because everything is still wrong when you start it. But yeah, I mean the flowers were good. The relics were neat to find. I never did remember what the word sextant was while in that part when we found one, but I remember it now, and I would just like everybody to know that I do in fact know that that's a sextant. This thing here. Um, I do remember that word now. And I knew it then. I just couldn't think of it. Uh, and yeah, I mean, it's a solid game. If they make another one, I mean, I'll play it. Uh, I would be interested to know how they advance from here because I mean, both games are like empty cities, and you exploring like ruined buildings and that. And so, you know, like the only real way I could feel would be like if they brought more people into it, but that kind of would take away a little bit from the, not necessarily, I guess, take away from the game, but I'm not quite sure how they would introduce that, you know. Uh, but yeah, that's it for Submerged Hidden Depths. Like I said, uh, leave a comment if you want me to play the first one for the channel because I played it myself. I enjoyed it. I'd be more than willing to download it and play it again to make videos in it so that you can see the other part of the story. Like I said, a few years obviously have taken place in between the two, so it explains where she gets her arm there from, but that's about it. Other than that, there's not really much of a connection between them. It's not like a direct sequel; it's a many years later sequel. Uh, but starting next weekend, we'll go back to we'll do another horror game next. I've got a few. I got I think a couple more amnesia ones now, and something else. So we'll see what I feel like playing. Maybe I'll throw a poll up. So watch for that. Or well, actually, if you're watching this video, the poll's already been up and probably video recorded. But thanks everybody for watching, and I'll see you next time for more.